Wait, let's say our pronouns real quick. I'm a he.
I'm a starfish. You and I are sick.
You walked into a lion's den.
You wouldn't know that it was human meat until they said to you, human carpaccio.
When I think about eating people, not only do I think about how they would taste, but I also like to think about their personality.
Walked into a lion's den.
Just call me my guy and we're good.
Yeah, call me my dude. That's it. You sound like the dumbest robot.
I am the dumbest robot.
Thank you for listening to Splittin Hairs. On this podcast, you're gonna learn about yourself. I'm Ashlynn Salzano.
My name is Chris Metcalf.
We're all lizard people anyway. We're here. We're live. We're at the studio. We got a new set.
The newest addition to the set, the mispronoun jar.
That's not the newest.
The newest addition to the set? What's the newest addition to the set?
This right here.
Oh, the candles. Yeah,
Mhm.
we're not doing alcohol. We're doing scented candles now.
And we're trying to be at one with ourselves.
Yeah. As you know, follicles, we always like to switch it up, new vibes, you know?
New vibes.
But don't get it twisted. I poured tequila into this seltzer.
Like a sad old man.
Yeah. Don't get it twisted.
Don't get it twisted. I'm young and know the vibes, but I'm old and I have a drinking problem.
Oh yeah, baby. Yeah. How was your week? What you got going on? What's happening in your world?
Nothing really, just a lot of work, you know what I mean? Just working hard, doing stand-up, doing podcasts. It's just been, honestly, I just can't wait for the season to be over. Because we're busier, my job is busier during the holiday seasons. Because a lot of companies reach out and they want like virtual holiday parties.
Christmas games.
Yeah, or like instead of the holiday party, you know, they can't meet right now.
People are still not meeting up?
Yeah, so.
What the fuck?
Yes. And like a lot of them too, like we have a party of like 300. Like big companies too, and they're like,
who are these people going on these? I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, what parts of the world are people just I feel like that's so 2019, 2020 to be like virtual party.
Well, I think they don't want 2019.
Well, didn't
2019? You felt like that?
It came in I thought COVID hit March of 2000.
No,
March
2020.
Sorry.
Okay, no, I thought you felt that way in 2019. I thought you were like everyone was doing. I was like,
I thought I got my years off. Yeah.
No, but I sincerely thought that it was like 2019. Not that COVID was 2019. I knew it was 2020, but I thought you thought that like virtual
2019 was the year of virtual Yeah.
I was like, really?
No.
I was like, did I miss something? Was I in a
coma?
Bad year,
yeah. For me.
You're like you were in a coma, Ashlynn, and we didn't tell you.
Unplug. I would want to be unplugged from a coma. Fuck that. Well, wait, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, the Zoom thing. Like, yeah, I don't know. That just seems like
well,
I feel like even in New York, it's like we can get together.
But I think they're trying to avoid an outbreak. You know what I mean? Because then you get the outbreak, and think about this. Like, we're back at work, so it's like, if someone gets the outbreak and then it's like 300 people now people are calling out of work, it's like a big COVID outbreak. What are the CDC rules? You know what I'm saying? Like, then you got to shut down. People work from remote. So I don't know. And I think a lot of people went remote now.
They did. And
like all these like games I run, like sometimes I'm like, so are you guys all located in the same place? They're like, no.
Right.
Like, and we also get a lot of companies that have like, US and UK and all of that, like, and everyone's everywhere and we're playing one game. So I think that's the appeal of it, but definitely people are back. I don't know. And the lady said to me, she goes, yeah, we were hoping, we can do in person and we were hoping, but maybe next year. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, I hope so. But then for my job wise, I'm like, I hope not. I'm like, why are you telling me you hope things get better? I'm like, you'll never go back to it. You'll never go back to in-person holiday parties.
Yeah. But
I'm going to boycott holiday parties, like strike. Like, this is madness. Just so they can do more games.
Well, they'll have to they'll probably have to if it goes back to see, but it won't though. That's the thing. It won't ever. I feel like whatever the company is that you work for where they do this, and I think realizing you talk about it, that's what makes it interesting to me. It's I get it for telecommunications for we got to have a meeting and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Sue is in Dallas and Frank's in whatever. It's like, okay, why do we need all the plane tickets? Let's just do the Zoom thing.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like like a company holiday party thing is like already something you can opt to not go to, but like even more so to opt to not be like, guess what I'm doing at 9 or at 8 p.m. on my Friday or my Thursday. Like, you're gonna go on like a virtual, like you're gonna go on like a massive Zoom call. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like cynical. I could never imagine.
Maybe it's the norm now, right? Maybe we've just gotten used to it. But I don't know. I mean, one of the companies did say that like 300 joined, but then by the end of the night, it's like and maybe they're giving them the day off too. Maybe that's the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Like, you better go on the Zoom game, or you don't get the day off.
Or like, we'll give you guys like an extra day off and we'll do Zoom and we can all stay home. Maybe. You know what I mean?
Right.
As a holiday party. That's
Right.
how I would sell it. That sounds good, right? If your company is like, just go, we're going to give you an extra day off. We're going to do Zooms and all of that. That's going to be our holiday party. You'd be like, yeah, sure. Like, you know what I mean? I'll join. I'll be drinking, but I'll join.
I guess it would depend if like who my like tight friends are that I worked with. I'd probably be texting them and being like, are you doing this? And if they're not, I wouldn't. Like, that's kind of how I am. That's how I am with my current day job.
Yeah.
Like, they did a mandatory this year. It was like a mandatory, like, they wanted all the
Yes.
offices together. And I
Yes.
was so fucking pissed. Because, like, in the past, it's always just been, like, optional.
Why do you think this year was like you had to?
I think it was the company's 25th year anniversary, so they wanted to make it, like, a big deal.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, we had just all gotten through COVID. But I also heard that it was like, I guess like in the years past, they'd be like, who's coming? And then like they get this list and like all these people say they're coming and then nobody shows up. And then they buy all this stuff and all this food. And then there's like nobody there. And so, and so they just like made us go. It was such fucking bullshit. Like, we had to take, because like the job, it's like whatever. They have like all these offices up and down the East Coast. So it was like people coming in from like Maryland, New York, Massachusetts, like Pennsylvania, and we all went to like the middle of fucking nowhere, Pennsylvania, to this like weird outdoor like fucking, I don't know, they had like zip lines and hiking and like archery, and like we played like a company softball game and shit.
Was it fun at least?
It was fun because all like the fucking Black and Hispanic dudes and my two friends, like we all just, there was a basketball court and we just played hardcore fucking street basketball like the whole time. I actually I like fucked myself up. I got kind of hurt.
Pulling some moves that you shouldn't be trying.
Oh yeah, doing like a lot of like just going in.
That's me going up the stairs. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, this age it'll do it to you. You're like, what happened?
I got the fucking zone, and I'm so bad at basketball, but I fucking showed up.
Yeah.
This one dude fucking checked, because all those guys, like, they know how to play basketball. Like, I'm good at rebounds and defense, and I'm like annoying, but like I can't like casually dribble the ball.
I didn't think you ever could.
Yeah.
You don't seem like
I
that
could get
type.
like a few steps, and I either gotta do like a layup or a jump shot.
Or you gotta pass it.
Yeah,
you're
or pass
definitely-
it. Yeah, I'm not like dribbling
You're-
into the hole.
You're playing hot potato with basketball. That's
Yeah.
what you're playing. You're playing hot potato basketball. I can see that for you.
Yeah, my teammates
Yeah,
like
but-
it. The other teams hate me. That's why the dude fucking checked me, because I was like
Yeah.
moving around too. Because I'm like an annoying fly. Like I
I
don't
should
stop.
send him a thank you card, maybe like
Yeah.
a gift basket. You got his address?
Yeah.
What's his name? Thank you for body
I'll look in
checking
the company
Chris.
directory. Yeah.
Send them muffins or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that'll do it to you, right?
Yeah.
You do like, that's why you keep wanting me to go play paintball, and I'm like, I don't want to pull a muscle, man. I can't pull a muscle right now. That's the thing. It's like I'm at the age where I'm like, that's gonna hurt my body a little bit. Is that bad? Are we old?
I don't want to live in fear.
Okay, it's not a fear. It's just like it's like getting a hangover. It's a body over. Like, you know what I mean? An old body over. It's not a hangover. It's an old body over. So it's
Sure.
not fear.
Yeah.
I'm just like, like if you're like, you want to go out for shots, I'm like, tomorrow I gotta do a couple of things. That's how I feel with like activities like that. I'm like,
Do I want to
okay.
be sore the next
yeah,
2 days?
yeah. Can I be sore the next 2 days?
Yeah, I guess I do. I guess that payoff is like worth it to me more than the hangover.
I think they're both the same. I'm like, ah.
Because then we get to have like some camaraderie afterwards after destroying our enemies.
We are I thought we were doing a versus, a one-on-one.
Oh, we can do that too.
That's how I saw it. So yeah, I mean, it just depends on what kind of hangover you want. Like, if you got a lot of cleaning to do the next day, no. If you can stay home. But even having a sore body, it hurts to stay home. So I don't know if that's even correct. You know, I feel like you got a hangover, you just stay home, you lay down, you throw up, you eat bad, whatever you need. You know what I mean? But a body over, you got to like take care of it.
I mean,
even it hurts to lay down.
You're body over. It's so fun. I guess I know what you mean about being sore, but like I don't mind the being sore. It's if I get hurt. That's when I'm like, God fucking damn it.
Are you more embarrassed that you have to go to the hospital? That's
or you just like feel old. You know, that's when you feel old, is when you get hurt. It's the being sore is kind of like it's like a blissful pain to me, where I'm just like, fuck yeah, like we fucked shit up yesterday. Yeah. I'm fucking sore. Like I'm sore because I did this sick, like whatever. But if I'm like hurt after that, I'm like, wasn't worth it. Not worth it. I didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, now I'm all, all that shit.
Oh my God. I ever told you how when I broke my wrist in Puerto Rico, have I ever talked about that on here?
I don't remember.
I think I have, actually. And how I saved Dante.
Oh, yes.
Like how I roll. Long story short, for those of you that don't want to go back, I understand. Yeah. But I was riding an ATV in Puerto Rico. I was like, I wasn't supposed to be driving, and I had my brother Dante in the back, and who's much younger than me, and I was driving, and I kind of made too many circles, like a speed demon, and the ATV tipped over. My brother's leg was gonna get stuck, so I had to push the back of the ATV, and my hand stayed on the ATV, and I broke my wrist is broken. Long story short, right? So like when I was just like, man, like I like had to have like a conversation with myself. I wasn't like, it was hurting me, my wrist was hurting, and I was well though, like no concussion, nothing. And I was like, man, like, are you serious? Like, are you not embarrassed? Like, you were having such a great ride, and then you had to ruin it by going, like, you are such a show off. You know what I mean? Because I was just so embarrassed that I'm like, you broke your fucking wrist and an ATV. Like, you don't know how to act. You've never been anywhere, I was so upset. Yeah,
I've definitely had embarrassing injuries before, for sure. Like one time.
Have you broken anything?
Fingers and toes. I'm pretty.
Fingers and toes. Fingers are the worst.
Yeah.
Fingers are the worst to hurt.
They were never bad enough where I had to go to the hospital, but there was definitely times where I would tape a finger to another finger, and it was like that for a while.
One time
I've had people reset my toes or reset my fucking fingers. There's a video somewhere deep on the internet of my friend resetting my fucking toe that I jammed. My toe, I forget how I jammed it, but it was fucked up. You could see it looked like my toe was just like pushed into my fucking thing, and you could hear it where he takes it and he resets it. That was the only time in my life I thought I was gonna pass out from pain. Like, because when it felt so good, like the bruising went away and shit, but it also like the room was spinning. Like my friends were laughing at it. Was like on the deck on LBI. Yeah. All my friends are like laughing at me. They were like I was like white. Yeah. Like I was gonna like pass out like from him doing it, and it was whew, yeah. But no, like I've never broken like an arm, and I'm pretty sure I broke my rib, but one time I had this finger and it looked like a fucking ginger root. I went to go get something in the couch, and I like went in too fast and split. It didn't split, but that shit was like swollen, and like I even had to call out of work. It looked like a ginger root. My finger looked like a ginger root. It was fucked up. I even called out of work. Oh. Yeah. That's how bad. Yeah. I've had some.
And then when I get cuts, I never really cared about. Like I'm like, whatever. Like people used to be like, you should get stitches. I'm like, no, my skin will heal itself.
Bitches get stitches.
Yeah, snitches get stitches. Yeah.
You don't snitch, so.
Yeah, it depends on stitch. Who. If it's my siblings, absolutely. Snitching to the day I die. Yeah, Mom will know about this. Yes. I need to get to the top so that I can ask for something. I'm sorry. You're just a casualty on the way.
Ends justifies the means.
Yeah. You'll
Love
be
that.
all right.
Love that. Yo, I wanted to bring something up that I did like a little light investigation this week.
Oh my God,
that
we
I
love your
wanna bring.
investigations.
I did a light I mean I was like 15 minutes of Googling and some listening. So obviously know about the Travis Scott thing.
Yeah, you got to
concert.
be living under a rock.
Right.
Yeah, to not know what's happening.
I here's my thing, right? It said that people died. I think it's crazy, but like also like we've known that he's done this, right?
Mhm.
Like there's a fucking documentary on Netflix that I started watching and had to turn off because it was terrible. But like the first 10 minutes of the movie is him being like, pull up the barricades. And like everybody, it's like in the first 5 minutes of the movie, it's like he does this. So everybody knows that he does this. And then this time
he also like tells them like if it's he'd be like it's sold out, but like
just
rush the security.
Bum rush it. Yeah. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Right. So we already know this goes on, and obviously this time it like kind of gets out of control.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really know. I mean, I don't know his like. I know he's extremely popular, but like I don't know his like reputation in like the rap game. But like, here's what I'm confused about.
Mm-hmm.
I've listened to his music, especially this week, trying to understand. I don't get how his music is inciting the sort of mosh pitting and like and violent kind of like people going that nuts. Like I've been to metal shows. I've seen Slipknot, Lamb of God, where they've taken the crowd and split them apart and like literally like people running into each other like it was Braveheart.
Yeah.
I get that music to that type of behavior, but I'm not understanding like like I don't even know song lyrics, but just like his music is not like, why are people going that nuts?
I mean, Sycamore though, it's kind of like
okay, that one song,
but that's when it was happening because Drake was on stage. It was happening like right after Drake's.
But
right
I've
after
seen
him and
all
Drake.
the clips, like,
but
from
people
his shit,
even
and people are, and he's like, get a mosh pit going, and it's just like, how are you
but
moshing to this?
I don't think the mosh was what made people. It wasn't a mosh that made people like pass out. It was that they were bum rushing the stage.
Right.
It wasn't that they were like being like like dancing together. People were bum rushing the stage. That's why there were like 3 casualties up at the front, and then like some medics have been quoted to be like there were 11 medical things happening in 1 minute. Like they were like 11, and if you watch it, like if you kind of like they had this like 20 like they had like a couple of clips that like went together, but they were like kind of piecing it. The internet was piecing it, and like there was one person like passing out, and Travis Scott is like, yo, medic, and then boom, and then he like continues, right? And then there's this other video where like 3 people are like passed out right there, like back to back. Like if me, you, and Kate were there, we all passed out. And then there were just like other videos, and it's like they were just like bum rushing the stage. Right. It wasn't even like a mosh pit.
Okay, so it's okay. So I guess what I'm talking about is a separate from that, but okay, that makes a little more sense. But yeah, okay, so that makes sense. I mean, yeah, people were just getting like crushed; they can't breathe. Which I know that feeling because of being in those shows when I was younger. Like there have been times where my feet were barely touching the ground, and I couldn't control what direction I was going in.
Yeah.
Like I was just in a crowd of people, and I'd have to like push out so that like I could breathe.
I mean,
I've been in those, like, thank you, Slipknot. That was,
Some of those easels are like that, too. Especially if you're up in the front, like, sometimes you're like, everyone's bumping each other. If it's, like, someone, like, popular, like David Guetta was packed, Zed's Dead was packed, Armin van Buuren was packed. Like, there are a couple of people who are that packed, and they're, like, rushing the stage. It's not even, like, a mosh pit. There are some mosh pits happening, but... like all the bum rushing, and then I've been in that situation, but not like that, not like how people are describing it.
Right. Yeah. So, but I don't know. Well, okay. So separate from the people dying, then, like, did you? I mean, I guess I just don't understand how, like, if I went to a Travis Scott concert, I could see myself like maybe getting hyped to the music, but to be like have you seen he tells people to do like these like mosh pit things.
Yeah, he wasn't even there yet though. They were just bum rushing because he was just with Drake and they were bum rushing.
Right. But I'm even just talking about like outside of the bum rushing, like the way people are at those shows. You'd think that they were at like a metal show.
But they're like hardcore. But I've seen that with EDM. Like, it's just weird. It just happens. I think it's like when you love the music too much, you're unwell. And you start to do that. It's like, to me, there's like no reason to do it in metal either. Like, just chill. What are you doing?
There was a bit of a catharsis to it at times. But
maybe that catharsis is just traveled on to different types of music.
I guess, yeah. Maybe I'm not. Because, like, I'm not even saying... I'm all for the mosh pit. I'm just trying to wrap my head around like if I put on like there are times where I'll put on Pantera and I'll be like like I'm not want to jump into a mosh pit, but when I put on Travis Scott, I'm never like I just want to fucking.
But have you? Oh, well, they didn't have a mosh pit, but like I just think he does a couple of rock and roll stuff though.
Travis Scott?
Yeah. His music is a little bit heavy on the guitar and like all that. I just think it's just like every time I go to a festival, there's always the mosh pit crew. Like I just feel like no matter what festival I'm in, I'm like these guys came to mosh pit. It doesn't matter what the music is. I just feel
it just no matter what they're gonna mosh.
They're
there
mosh
to mosh.
Dudes, yeah.
They do the mosh.
Like if they like rap, they're like the mosh rap kids. Right. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like there's some of that in everything, kind of. And I'm just like, why? I get it, but it's like, why? Why to any of it?
Well, yeah, especially to like music that it doesn't, at least I guess it's subjective, it's an opinion, but still like to music that just doesn't, like they're just like, I don't know, like a fucking Taylor Swift. They're just like moshing, like get them, like why aren't those, let's get a we should mosh. We
like
should
an Ariana
up.
Grande mosh pit.
Let's show up.
34, 35.
A Casey Musgraves. Yeah. Just doing the one-arm swing and just going bananas.
Or Michael Bublé.
Yeah, Michael Bublé just start pushing fucking flipping tables.
What's his one
Let's
hit?
Go!
What's his one hit song? Michael Bublé, what's that?
I don't know.
Fuck. I just haven't met you yet, right?
Yeah.
You're like, I just haven't, anything can mosh. We should just do it. We should just be moshers.
Just hard moshers. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
I feel like there's just that kind of vibe all the time in a festival.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been to a festival. Well, I went to Afropunk a few years in, I think in 2019. Yeah. I think that was the Afropunk I went to. And that got hardcore, but there was hardcore bands. There was fucking like metal bands. There's this one sick band called like Red Arcade or something like that. These like 3 dudes, they look like they're in like Dipset, but they have dreads and they're like a 3-piece hardcore punk band. They're so fucking good. I was going bananas in there.
It does not surprise me of you that you be in a mosh pit.
Oh, I was definitely in there.
I can't see myself in a mosh pit. I'd be like, what am I doing?
I just kind of go in for a quick dip. I'm not like in there.
You dip your toes.
Yeah, like
I'm just gonna dip my toes. I just dip my toe in mosh pits.
Yeah, like I think when I was younger, I would have like stayed in it more.
Yeah.
But like I was like 32.
Yo, you mosh pit?
Yeah.
I dip my toes.
Yeah, I'd go in for a dip.
Yeah.
And I was by myself, so I didn't have to be like, I'll be right back. Like I was just like, fuck it, let's go into the chaos, and I just like went in, kind of get pushed around a little bit, and then you hit like the circle where there's like the real kind of.
It's kind of like a Fight Club.
Chaos
the more you think
on.
about it,
yeah,
it's got a Fight Club vibe.
People are usually pretty good. I mean, people aren't like swinging to punch. I mean, I've been to ones where they do that, like some hard punk shows, but like usually there's like some rules. It's usually just like a lot of like pushing.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like went in, did some pushing around, and then got pushed out of the other end of the circle, and I was like, had enough. And then like blended
I'm good.
out.
Yeah. I'm gonna walk off. I'm gonna get a beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to a drag show recently. They had like a Halloween drag show, and was a bunch of drag queens and like the ones on RuPaul's Drag Race, so like the ones we know, and it was just like they did, I think, 13 and like you can be. It was like 16 and over. We were talking about that before.
Oh, like for admission.
Yeah, I think yeah, and it was just like. You can tell because it was kind of rude. Like there were some people that were rude, and it was like, yo, these kids are like like me and Kate had set up like there was like a couple like there was this gay guys, and then there was this like there was this like this gay kid with like is like Best Judy, you know what I mean? Who's like not gay, and she's there, and then it's me and Kate, and then behind us are this like straight couple, and they're chill. They're just chilling, like they look like they listen to rock and just chill, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we had all like set up like this little like, okay, I don't touch your space, you don't touch my space, like we're good. Then like as it got closer to the time that it was going to begin, like just like kids kept like bum rushing and being like, oh, excuse me, and like thinking that they could just go ahead like up front. And I was just like, the manners are like different. You know what I mean? And I think that goes to like the behavior of like Travis, because there were like 10-year-olds there. You know that, right? One of the victims that passed away is like a 10-year-old. The youngest is 9.
Shut the fuck up.
Deadass. Because he did something with Fortnite. He's a Fortnite character.
At Astro World there's like
Put your mic up.
Astro World there's like what's it like? Bring your family to Astro World.
Bring your family to work day.
Yeah.
So Astro World is a concert for a lot of artists. Like Bad Bunny was on it.
Right. It's like a festival kind of.
So, but then a lot of kids go see Travis because he's got that Fortnite deal.
Right, but
he's got.
But are 9 and 10-year-olds allowed in Bonnaroo? Like, are there 9 and 10-year-olds?
Well, their parents were with them. I don't know. Maybe he's like, maybe his people.
So kids can go as long as they're accompanied by like a parent or something.
Yeah, you know Alex Jones, right?
Yeah.
Who else? Whose podcast is he always on too?
Well, he was on. He's been on. Andrew Schultz has had him on like twice also.
Okay.
Yeah, and Tim
Dillon has had
him on once, I think. Yeah.
Okay, I was
Joe
wondering
Rogan's had
like
him on a couple times.
Yeah. Well, he's in the news because he's getting sued for defamation of the Sandy Hook shooting.
Again? He already got. I thought they already dealt with that.
More, I guess they just settled, or they just like gave the verdict in the civil suit.
Oh, there was. Like they gave like the final thing. On,
yeah,
like, I guess I didn't realize there was a case. I know that he's like publicly like apologized for that kind of like. I mean, he's a lunatic, but I didn't know that.
But he was saying that these people's kids weren't dead, like that it was a hoax. Like, come on, dude, you're taking it too far. Because my thing is just like, you can ignore no one asked you. No one asked you, even if that's what you believe. No one fucking asked you. If you've got like this weird thought, like shut the fuck up.
But that's his whole career, though. That's why I didn't think that's. I'm not defending him.
Yeah.
But and I'm not saying what he said is okay. But at the same time, like that's like his whole. That's like part of his whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Perez Hilton.
In a sense,
you know Perez Hilton, right? Has the website and like does. He's been accused of like lying and slander and all of that.
He seems like a real chill person to hang out with.
Yeah, I think he's your type, but that's his thing. I kind of feel like he's the Alex Jones of like the liberals.
He's like the Alex Jones of like entertainment.
But no one's taking it as far as Alex Jones to be like, your kids didn't die, you liar. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, your tears are fake. The actors. That is insane. That is an insane thought, not only to think, but then to say out loud. Because, thoughts you can't really control. You know what I mean? They pop in your head. You're like, oh, my God, shut up. But to say it, you think twice. You know what I mean? Because you have to think the thought and then think, I'm going to share this. And that's what he chose to do. And that is an idiot.
He's a little on the hinge.
Yeah.
He's fucking crazy.
I can't imagine becoming one of those people where I'm like, and I'm not, listen, you got to make your money wherever the fuck you got to make your money and how you got to make it. But I don't know if I could be someone like that. Like to write fake like to write fake articles and to be like, yep, if you were famous, being like, yep, Chris last night told me that he hated working on this like, I don't know if I could do that.
Right, like slander, like
Yeah.
slander media and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes a certain type of person. I mean, I've thought about that with like people who are like literal, like make a living doing paparazzi photography.
Yeah.
Like you wake up in the morning and you're like, I am going to. You basically have a license to stalk someone.
Yeah.
Which is illegal.
And to take pictures.
Right.
Which is like.
And you're just like running, you chasing a person and ching, 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 ching. And then you're like pressed up against like a van that they're in.
And so invasive.
And you don't give a fuck. And you're like, I got to get my commission and get the good pick. And then you run to your car. And then
like,
you go because you know they're going to be somewhere else.
And the celebrities are like, please stop. And you're still like, got to get the shot, baby.
Oh, they're crying. Even better.
Yeah.
Like,
meltdown. This is going to sell huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't like that's.
But that was one of the reasons why when everybody like when the Britney Spears the documentary came out, right? And everybody was like, oh, fuck Justin. Like, Justin's a piece of shit. And like, fuck Justin. Like, yeah, I don't think Justin handled it the best he could. Like, I think, you know, there was definitely some slander there too. But like, the paparazzi literally drove this girl crazy.
Yeah.
Like, to the point where she's crying and cutting her hair. Like, you did that. Like, you're the little puppets behind. And then you want to be like, oh, you know, like all the magazines that sold that shit. Like, you are what ruined Britney.
Right.
Like, it was not Justin. Like, Justin would have just been a heartbreak. And then been like, he would have been like what Taylor Swift is doing to like John Mayer right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that would have been like Britney. But instead, you had to, like, the paparazzi ruined her. And it was, like, so clear to me. I was like, well, why aren't we, like, talking shit about them?
Right. Yeah.
Because it's like you have a license to spy, like you said.
Well,
like,
the paparazzi, they're sort of like, they're kind of like the lowest. They're like the scum of, they're like of the animal kingdom. They're just like the flies. Like, no one blames the flies. Like, the flies are always there. So you're like
raccoons.
Or like a raccoon,
right?
Because
they're always like, well, you left the garbage open. It's never like,
right,
yeah,
like, oh, these fucking raccoons again.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, you didn't put the lid on the garbage. You didn't fucking put the hatch down like you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, those fucking paparazzi. That is wild. I mean, I feel like you just like. I mean, there's a paparazzi person. I mean, what are they like? They gotta just be like. They don't like go home to like a wife and kids. They're like living in like they're sleeping on a cot.
Yeah,
you
walk into a paparazzi's house and there's a carton of Chinese food.
Yeah,
like there is a carton of
waiting
Chinese
for the
food.
next gig.
Yeah,
yeah. I'm kind of like romanticizing. It kind of sounds like you're like a PI. Like a
yeah.
PI is like
no furniture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the bare minimum.
There's probably paparazzis out there that have like a BMW mansion, and we're over here like they're poor, and those motherfuckers are rich.
Yeah,
they make some good money if they get some good shit.
If you get that good pick.
I mean, that's basically what TMZ did, right?
Right.
They're not even like a news network, but somehow they are blended into it.
Well, what's fucked up about all of that stuff, whether it's like Alex Jones, TMZ, Perez Hilton, or just like paparazzi stuff, like with them and getting like real information that's like true, it's kind of like thrift shopping, right? There's a lot of bullshit. And every once in a while you find like a good nugget. You're like, oh, that's a cool shirt.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you were right about that. And that's what keeps them alive, kind of. That, and also just like feeding out, like just giving
paparazzis or
well, just the whole
slander,
the whole slander,
right.
kind of that whole thing. Like, for every time Alex Jones has said something that makes like no sense, he also has been right about some stuff, which is fucking crazy. For every time Perez Hilton and TMZ leak some fucking tabloidy bullshit that's not 100% true, they've also been very right about stuff that like ended up coming to fruition and being very true. So it's like this weird, like, that's why I say it's like thrift shopping. Like, you don't like most of the stuff at the Salvation Army, but you every once in a while you find like that one good T-shirt or that one good, and that's what like keeps them.
It's spooky, right? It's like that saying that even a clock is right twice, or what is it, right?
Oh yeah, I know what you're saying. Like a broken clock, it's
even
right
a broken
at least
yes,
twice
even
a
a
day
broken
or
clock
something.
is right twice a day.
Yeah.
Where it's like they're the broken clock,
Yes.
but at least twice a day they're
Right.
right. Like
Yeah.
it's like that kind of saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I get that, and then it's true because like I see them like a lot of people will be like, oh, do you agree with like because I watch Tim Dillon and a lot of people are like, oh, do you agree with him like with all the things he says, and I'm like, I agree with Tim Dillon like 70% of the time, but I think that's enough to be like I agree with this person. You get
Right.
what I mean? Do I agree with him 100%? No, but
Is he also like fucking around half the time and like is there truth in what he says? Yes, but I also don't feel like that he's also like not like a like I feel like some people hear that shit and they're like end all be all. Like when Joe Rogan says something, they're like Joe Rogan said it. It's like, okay, Joe Rogan's one fucking guy. Tim Dillon's
do you
one
believe
fucking
everything
guy.
your parents say? Do you agree
Right.
with you? I barely agree with my mother 70%.
Right.
I agree more with Tim Dillon than my mother sometimes.
Carol's got a cool 50.
Yeah. But even you and I, what is this fucking podcast called? Like, we don't even agree after
Right.
this. I agree with Tim Dillon more than you, and I have a
Yeah.
podcast with you. Like, I don't agree, but like that's a good amount. Like that, I it's just like that notion of like, every once in a while, you agree
Yeah.
with something, and it's just
Strike
like
some gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a little bit of fact with a lot of speculation. That's like all it really is. Whether it's Alex Jones or those other ones, right?
Have you ever made up a rumor about someone?
Ooh, good question. Have I ever made up a rumor about somebody? I think I've made up rumors about myself.
How sad.
But definitely not. I
Good rumors about yourself, or like, of course, right?
Yeah,
Like what
yeah.
rumors?
just like I'd like embellish something that like I maybe did or whatever.
Okay,
you know what I
alright, yeah.
mean? Like,
I thought you were just like,
did you hear?
like Christopher got a Mercedes.
Yeah.
And then you're like running away. That's what I'm like picturing.
I have a Mercedes. Tell everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spread it around.
Did you guys hear Metcalf's got a Mercedes?
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, I don't want to show it to you guys. I'm like doing that.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring it out.
What kind of rumors though? No, have you ever spread a rumor about someone?
I think I've made not. Well, okay. When you say spread a rumor, that basically means that could be as simple as like just telling a secret, someone's secret, right?
Oh,
Because when
not
you
really.
said rumor,
Yeah.
in my mind, I'm like
Lies.
making right.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
But is a rumor a lie necessarily?
I don't think you and I are the two people to.
I just love that we have a huge screen, the internet. We'd never look it up. We're like, fuck it, let's barrel through.
But even if we did look up the definition, I don't think you and I are the. They're gonna be here for 20 minutes
Right.
having us argue. Well, it is. What is it?
I think
I wanna
telling
hear
a
a
secret. I
rumor.
think telling a
Tell a
secret.
rumor.
I think a rumor could be both like a vindictive choice that someone could make,
Mhm.
or it could be like a secret or spilling a beans about like maybe something a little like juicy about somebody, and then via just naturally through the game of telephone,
Okay,
the
but you
story
see-
gets morphed.
But you see, in girl world, that's just gossip.
Right? That's not rumors.
Yeah.
That's gossip.
If it's someone's secret, it's not a rumor. It's just gossip.
I like maybe the definition of rumor is that it has to be whispered into an ear. It's
could
the
be
same as
anything.
gossip. Yeah, it's the same as gossip, but the only difference is it must be whispered into an ear.
Your
for it to
Honor,
be a
I didn't.
rumor.
Your Honor, I didn't set that rumor. Well, I don't know. Let's roll the tape. Let's see if you whispered or not.
Right, yeah. Your Honor, this is clearly a case of gossiping.
Yeah.
There is no whispering going on here whatsoever. They are drinking white wine and
They are-
chatting it up.
Yeah, they're as loud as ever.
Right.
I asked the waitress, could you hear them? She said yes. You
Yeah.
couldn't hear a whisper if you
Yeah.
were the waitress.
And then they're like, but we don't know what went on after this gossip session. They're like, that's irrelevant, Your Honor. That does not pertain to this footage.
Yeah. This is not a character case.
Yeah. This isn't about the rumors that that Ashlynn may or may not have
Yeah.
been sending outside of the gossip in question.
And then the judge goes, okay, roll your eye. Let's see the tape because
Yeah.
we've all got like our eyes recording everything. We got robot eyes.
Yo, did you hear about the speaking of robot eyes, have you heard of this thing, the Anki? Yo, this robot company decided to make toys, and they literally made this. It's like a miniature kind of like R2D2 with emotions. And
With emotions?
it has emotions.
No.
And it like
In a lesbian household, we can't have more emotions.
yo, you
That's
should
gotta-
pull it. There's like a
gotta-
1 minute video. If you type it up, you should pull it up. This little thing just like rolls around. It looks like a little bulldozer with a face, and
Yeah.
he just like rolls around, and you could be like, Anki. Or I think it's Anki, or it's I think his name's Cosmo. It's got like a name, and you're like, Cosmo, what's the weather today? And it'll be like, and it will like the little digital screen. It will be like the weather is, and it gives you like the weather and shit, and then it will be like, it will be like that it's cold. I watched this video of it. I thought it was like computer animated, and it's not. And it's like
That-
a toy.
Here we go again. That sounds brilliant. Sign me up. Sign me up. Well, they basically just made a human Alexa.
Well, it's funny. They just partnered with Alexa. They have a new one called the Vector.
Yeah.
So it's this little robot, and it's like basically like an Alexa, and it switches between like Vector and Alexa.
What happened in society that we went from like, we don't want you listening to our calls to like, I would like for you to follow me around my house.
The thing's got a fucking camera on its head.
That's what I'm saying. I
Yeah.
know it does. They're not
Yeah.
going to just, they need information. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is
Mhm.
insane.
And then while you're just like away, like there's a thing on it called like discovery mode where you could just like turn it on and it will just like explore your house. And then you can like tap into its brain with like the iPad or
Mhm.
your phone, so you can like see through the camera on the Anki or on the Cosmo thing. I guess for that reason it is kind of cool. Like if you're like away, you could have this thing like rolling around. I mean, it's only like this big.
I mean, it's cool, but it's creepy. You know what I
It's
mean? That's
creepy.
going to be like,
It's actually kind of cute. I was listening to an interview
You-
with the guy who made it, and like they were talking about how like, so here's this maybe will put your mind at ease, but this is what I thought was interesting. So the guy who made it, he was talking about like, so this thing has all these emotions, and he's like, okay, yes, but he's like, the reason we decided to do a toy is because robotics, they focus too much on like the like science and math of it, and
Yeah.
they focus so much less on like the characteristics of like AI. And when they built this robot toy, they like worked with like Pixar and like all this shit, and they said, he's like, even though we made it so that the robot has this like huge quiver of emotions and like very specific ones too, with all these different reactions to stuff, he's like, it's still sort of at random. Like the toy's not actually thinking and feeling.
yeah.
So he's like, but what we have found is like they did tests with the toy and play with the toy. So like the screen on it, it's like, it's cool, but it's still like digital, pixelated. It's not like a HD screen, but it's like its eyes move and shit, and then
Yeah.
like it can like bring up weather and stuff.
Well, this is going to be the technology that when we're old, we're going to be like, I don't know how to work goddamn Cosmo. And
Right.
hit them, bop. Because we don't,
And then it's
our
gonna go,
generation,
yeah, it's gonna be sad when you hit it.
we're going to call our grandkids like, how do I, my Cosmo's not working. How do I get it to work? They're like, did you unplug it? We're like, you're a genius. You know?
Right, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
This is going to be, because we ain't fucking with that shit. Our generation's going to be like creeped out. But I can see a lot of people liking it. I know some tech dads. Yo, dads love tech. Men just love surveillance.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god. But the thing that was fucked up, I just want to finish one thing because this is what was fucked up that I wanted. The part I want to tell you about is like, they said they did these tests, and on the thing, like, you could play solitaire with Cosmo,
Yeah.
right? And his little screen, he'll just like the cards come up, and you're like, play solitaire, and when you beat him, he gets like mad. He's like bummed out or upset. And he said that in these like test trials they did, people ended up letting him win because they felt bad for him.
Yeah, that's not good.
The thing doesn't think, the thing doesn't know, but just our human, the way we are wired, after you interact with the thing long enough, you're like, it just seems like you have like this living R2D2 Wally thing in front of you, and you're just like, you feel bad for it, but it's just digital lights and a bunch of random interactions, emotions inside of it that ping off.
Well, you ever
depending upon-
see someone cry and then you get sad?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's just like that. Like the fact that we understand, that it doesn't think, but the fact that we can see the emotion makes you sad. Because that's what it's like. Because, you've ever just been having a good day and you see someone crying, you're like, God damn it.
Right.
And you get sad. And you don't even know why this person is crying. This person could have just slapped their mother. And we're
Sure.
like, oh, okay.
Sure, but don't you think that there's something crazy? Like, it kind of makes me feel like we're dumb because, like, you're right. But, like, I feel like when we think of robots and inciting our emotions, it's like ex machina, like this, like. But this is literally a toy with a bunch of pre-programmed emotions in it, and
it's cute.
we still are like,
it's cute. It's
like,
small.
oh, I'm gonna let him win. And
it's small.
But if I hit him, he doesn't feel it. He doesn't know it.
But you're not gonna hit him.
But people would be like, how dare you? I know we made this joke on the one episode with Gus or whatever, but like, I don't know. It's just crazy. It's just. I don't know. It's like crazy.
We're an emotional species. We're an emotional species.
We are.
We don't think we are.
We are so. I feel like it's like, come here, kid. I got candy. Like, we're just like, oh, little robot. But it's just like, it's not real. I mean, it's real it's physically real, but
once we see those emotions, it's over for us. We're an emotional species. What do you want? We literally watch rom-coms. Like, we literally like rom-coms. Like, are you serious? Like, we really fall in love. Like, we're like, oh, and we're really heartbroken when these actors break up, like, on TV. You know what I mean? Then we're all, like, crying for Jack. Meanwhile, Leonardo DiCaprio's, like, doing coke off a model's ass.
Yeah.
But we're crying here because we love Jack. Yeah, we're emotionally stunted. We're crazy.
Yeah, we are fucking
Yeah.
crazy. We are
We're
crazy.
an emotional species. I never forget. I really thought Leonardo DiCaprio died. I really thought he died. And then he did the next Zorro. Do you remember that? He was in the next Zorro.
Was he?
Yeah, right after the Titanic. And I was like, I told my cousin, I was like, but wait, didn't he die? Did he die in the boat?
Was he
movie?
Zorro? He wasn't Zorro.
I don't know if he was Zorro, but he was in the Zorro movie.
Z for Zorro.
And my cousin goes, yeah, that's his twin.
He did die. It's
Yeah,
a different guy.
yeah. It's his twin. He is dead.
I don't think I've ever thought that, but it is interesting that we accept the fact that.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Wait.
You got a would you rather?
I'm
Chris got to go. He's got to make an important meeting call. He's a boy about his money.
a paper chaser.
I'm a paper boy. Good.
Do I have a would you rather? Would you rather be Zorro?
I got one. I got
Okay.
something different.
Go.
Would you rather have a Cosmo in your house
Okay.
or no technology at all?
No technology at all. Oh, sorry, I forgot. We have to
Okay.
do 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
No
Cosmo.
technology at all.
You wouldn't survive. You wouldn't survive. You wouldn't survive. Think about what
Wait, are you saying like no like stoves?
No like phone, no TV.
Okay. But I could still have like heat and air conditioning and like a stove.
Well, yeah,
Can I have like a microwave?
until the AC and the microwave are robots or technology. So we'll
Until
see
it
about
all
that.
comes out of
It's
the
just
bucket.
an AC is just a robot being like all right, good night.
Bye.